Hey, what's up, y'all? It's the Mad Hatter, reporting live from the underground of the fourth dimension. I want to go ahead and talk about Ivanka Trump and her recent interview where she ended it abruptly. It was an interview with Cosmo magazine, and she ends it due to negativity. Now, let's talk a little bit about what happened during that interview. During that interview, she says that, again, she was getting a lot of negativity, a lot of hard questions. So the interviewer's name is Prachi Gupta. And so the controversy is because this interviewer asked Ivanka Trump what she thought about her father's statements saying that pregnancy is an inconvenience for a business. So she kind of gets a little flustered and she says, quote, "My father obviously has a track record of decades of employing women at every level of his company and supporting women and supporting them in their professional capacity and enabling them to thrive outside of the office and within." She also adds, "To imply otherwise is an unfair characterization of his track record and his support of professional women." Yeah, okay, so Ivanka, on one hand, they're not asking about his track record, they're asking about uh, his comment about being an inconvenience for a business. My personal opinion is I think that she freaked out a little bit because let's keep it real. If you're a for-profit company, if you're a business, having a woman is a risk to a certain extent because a woman has an opportunity to get pregnant. And when you get pregnant, more than likely you have to take time off. That's going to cost the company money. To have you take time off while they're still paying you, that's a risk the company has to take. As human beings, we like to take the fewest amount of risks while getting the most out of life. It's the same way a company works to a certain extent. They want to make profit with the least amount of risk. So I think that she could have answered this by saying something like, "Look, yes, being the possibility of being pregnant is a risk for a business. However, we want to bridge the gap between women and business and find a form of communication where we can make it work for both sides." She didn't say that. She freaked out. And I get kind of why she freaked out because if she's trying to win an election, she has to be able to get some liberal minded people or some middle of the line minded people. A lot of women who are liberals would get offended by the comment that Donald Trump made, her father, about pregnancy being an inconvenience for a business. Even though that makes 100% sense, she was a little bit flustered, which makes me think like she's not really on par with what her father is saying, and maybe they need to go, reconvene and think of some new talking points because I don't think, first off, I don't think that was a really bad question to ask about that comment, especially when, and the reason why they ask about that comment is because Donald Trump is pushing forward a new, some new legislation, or he's not pushing forward, but on his campaign, he wants to, you know, help out women, pregnant women in businesses, which is not a bad thing to do, but they need to basically get on the same page when it comes down to this. Let me get you exactly what Donald Trump is trying to do, or what he says he's trying to do. So he's basically passing something that's going to help working mothers, getting mothers to work, which is not really freedom, but he's going to try to help working mothers. And he's using Ivanka Trump to push that. I think that she was just ill prepared, to be honest. Um, I don't think either side is really wrong in it, but I think that Ivanka Trump she could benefit a lot, and I think Donald Trump and his campaign could benefit a lot by getting their talking points down and understanding that a lot of people do understand that yes, being pregnant is good for the woman, but it's not always good for a company. It doesn't mean that you have to, as a company, not hire women. It doesn't even mean that you have to hire less women. but it means that you should be aware of that, and maybe you can do things to bridge that gap between the company and between women who are pregnant or who want to get pregnant, bridge that gap, come to some sort of understanding, and make it better for both sides. And I think that they need to be given a little bit more credit for trying to bridge that gap, as opposed to a lot of Democratic candidates and liberals who just want one side or the other. They just want their side, which is women deserve all the time off they want, and a company has to pay everything up front. There's no compromise in that. That's kind of ridiculous. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. Let me know what y'all think, and I'm out.